president of Parker Penn Company owned a helicopter, and he was doing power line patrol, power line work with it. It was not a profitable situation. So he tried to join with another helicopter company from Michigan called Orchard Helicopters, and the whole thing was a kind of a financial disaster. I was brought in to shape the whole thing up, and could take Mr. Parker's name off of all the paperwork where he got half the company.
In 1965, when Dick Werling was hired as president of Omni Flight Helicopters of Janesville, Wisconsin, it was a failing company with 3 Bell 47 helicopters. Dick knew helicopters, and he knew how to make them make money. Born in 1932 in Preble County, Indiana, Dick traveled the world before making Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, his home from 1965 until his death in 2021. The U.S. Army trained him as a helicopter maintenance technician. After his discharge from the Army, he worked as a helicopter mechanic for an international company that took him to places like Borneo, Pakistan, and India. In 1961, Dick was hired to manage a small helicopter business in Minneapolis, but it was not profitable.
I left them and I bid on a contract for Metropolitan Mosquito Control, which is a 6-county mosquito eradication thing for the Minnesota area. I didn't have a helicopter, I didn't have any money, very much money. I remember using the house as collateral to buy a bond to bid on the contract. Was awarded the contract, then I had to go find somebody with a helicopter to partner with to perform the contract. And that's how I got in the helicopter business. It was just within 3 years we had 6 very operational helicopters going.
And those are all 47s?
All 47s, yeah.
So the company that he's contracted with calls him back to the United States and says, hey, we've got a project that we want you to essentially head up. So there was another company that was trying to mine aluminum in remote New Guinea. Hey, anybody that can get a generator into this remote location will win the job for doing this. So his concept was they would take a balloon, lift the generator, and then once the generator had been lifted and taken most of the weight of the generator, move it with a Bell 47, essentially tow it back there. The balloon project was one of the stories that I heard about in my younger days and saw the pictures, and I just thought it was amazing.
Dick sold his Minnesota company, Lakeline Helicopters, in 1965. He moved to Janesville to become president and co-owner of Omni Flight Helicopters, based at the Rock County Airport. Under Dick's leadership, the company grew and branched out into new territory.
I just gave a friend of mine an old business card from that. We had an operation in Janesville, in Lexington, Kentucky, Corpus Christi, Texas, Baltimore, Maryland, and Teterboro, New York.
Dick pioneered new markets and new methods for helicopter use. With Bell Jet Rangers added to the fleet, the company opened new markets for helicopter services in forestry, mining, power utilities, and transportation all over the United States.
At that time, we were operating 30-some turbine helicopters in 17 different locations throughout the country. We were flying passengers, first-class passengers from 60th Street Heliport downtown New York to JFK for Pan American.
Dick made sure the company never lost its agricultural roots. he designed and flight tested a spray system for helicopters that incorporated a belly-mounted tank, pump, and spray booms. Dick's innovative design was purchased and manufactured by Simplex, a leading supplier of agricultural equipment for helicopters.
Everything went well. I went from Janesville as we were becoming more of an international, and we were starting to look at World Health Organization, make trips over to Africa. And so I got to see a good bit of Africa. And about 1980, they moved me to Washington, D.C. That's about the time I got misdiagnosed by the Riverside Clinic in Janesville and really put an end to my aviation career.
Unfortunately, medical issues required Dick to retire, but he eventually regained his license and continued to fly helicopters for the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources.
A friend of my dad and he built RV-7. I remember when my kids were able to come to the hangar and see the RV-7 as it was approaching, getting complete, hopping in the cockpit, turning the radios on, listening to the tower, pulling up the maps. They just really enjoyed it. And really everything that he did, it seemed as though, yes, it was an opportunity for him to educate others.
As a volunteer, Dick was active for many years at EAA's AirVenture, serving as assistant chairman of helicopter operations. In 50 years of flying and maintaining helicopters, Dick logged more than 4,500 hours. His flights included a few unexpected moments, including one in northern Arkansas.
The weather was bad, and I really was kind of grounded, and then finally the fog kind of left it, and there was kind of rain showers and fog. And so I kind of was sneaking over there by a treetop level. And all of a sudden there was this big statue of Jesus right in a bubble in front of me. And I come across his top of his mountain, right nose to nose to him. Was kind of worried and wonder if I was really had crashed and died or just what happened.
Hundreds of pilots, mechanics, and avionics technicians started and built their careers under Dick Werling's guidance at Omni Flight Helicopters. After his retirement, he continued to be a friend and mentor to the helicopter community.